the Gunners Collective. Back at it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict, right? And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, yes, indeedy. Size. I'm going to write graffiti on the bus. And we're going to talk about something that's pretty relevant in what's going on right now in the world. You know, there's a lot of cagada going on, man. There's a lot of shit going down, right? And a lot of people don't like to talk about it. But ¿sabes qué? Bang, bang. In a menudo stand in direct fashion, the gun's going to bring it to your plate so you can eat it on up. You know what I mean? If there's any leftovers, ¿sabes qué? Put them in the refrigerator. They'll be good for mañana. Bang, bang. So trip out. World War III. It's something not a lot of people want to talk about. I don't even like discussing it. But it's a fact, man. It's a fact that it could happen, and it will happen one day. You know, not maybe tomorrow, maybe not today, maybe not at midnight. I don't know, you know, but it could happen. And what's going to happen and who's going to get put on frontline status is the question. Okay, I've talked to a lot of my homeboys that are incarcerated. I've talked to homeboys that are doing all day. When I mean all day, I mean LWOPs, life without the possibility of parole. And they're staying abreast of what's going on in the situation. And the word from coming from inside is motherfuckers are concerned, right? They're concerned with what's going to happen to them. Now, I'm going to give you a couple theories and a couple facts on what could possibly happen, say, if we got invaded, if something happened right here in the United States. First and foremost, we'll go into what's called martial law, and I'm not going to speak too much into that because I don't want YouTube to shut this down, but I will say that it's quite possible that what will happen is any prisoner that's doing life or anyone that's doing all day, man, it's not going to be pretty for them, right? It's not going to be pretty for them because what's going to generally happen is they pose a threat to the safety and security of all the citizens, right? So they'll be the first ones eradicated, or so the story goes, right? But what's going to happen to all these guys that are just in there doing time that actually have a date? Will they be released? Will they be let out? Now, some people theorize that, like, yeah, maybe just release them, let them out. So scared. Hey, we need their help out here. What I think is going to happen is they're going to get put on frontline status. And I think a lot of these individuals, at least the ones that I talk to, are willing to go on frontline status. Now, what's frontline status? Some of you that aren't in the know are asking. In a menudo style in direct fashion, the gun will tell you frontline status is when you're on the forefront of that war zone. You're in the front. Can I go to the front of the line? Only. I'll be back here, right? Yeah, you can go to the front of the line. Here, you can cuts, right? You can have cuts. People are cutting to the front of the line. Now, of course, you would think these guys being incarcerated in prison, they're in a war zone of their own. They're in a battle zone. They're living a life of war, you know, something that not a lot of people are accustomed to. It's a different world in there. It's a different world in the penitentiary and being incarcerated, period. Doesn't matter where you're at. It's a different world, right? You have to have a different mindset, different mind frame, and you got to be up to par physically, mentally, and emotionally, right? Right? You got to be ready for whatever's clever. And a lot of these individuals are, you know, they put themselves in positions to stay ready so they don't have to get ready. I've spoke on that plenty of times. But what would happen if something like this happens that no one's seen? See, not a lot of us, besides people that have been in the military, and shout outs and respects to all the armed forces, man, that have sacrificed so that way we have the freedoms and liberties that we do have today. One of the greatest countries on earth, if not the greatest country on earth. We have so much freedoms, man, that I can't even begin to speak on them. So, okay, this right here, us interacting in this fashion is a freedom that not a lot of people have. But without saying too much, I will say this. At the end of the day, man, what are these guys thinking? See, they're cut off to the world. They get to watch their tubo, and of course, there's a few vatos that have phones if they're privileged enough to have the feria to go ahead and get one and to have the connections to make that happen. But at the end of the day, man, they don't see everything that we're seeing 24 hours a day, so they don't really know what's going on. And I've been in certain situations incarcerated when shit has went down, like in the September 11th incident, which might I say helped me, right? But I will say that a lot of vatos were in the oil at that time. They were cut off. We didn't know exactly what was cracking. We didn't know if we were under attack, if we were attacking. So let's get the Martians finally came to play. So let's get Independence Day shit. We didn't know. Okay, but at the end of the day, man, it all boils down to frontline status. Who's going to defend us? You know, will the administration take the necessary steps to put some of these people that are in prison on the front lines? You know, frontline status meaning, okay, take it for instance, being a Norteño, you know, that I am no longer part of that group segment. But when I was part of that faction, man, we had something called frontline status. You know, if you fucked up, if you owed some discipline, man, if you kind of made the wrong move, it wasn't your best move, there was times when you could get put on frontline status. Meaning if the next removal came up or something came up, Holmes, you were going to be going ahead and handling that. It's going to be on your plate. ¿Sabes qué? Here, tortillas y todo. Oh my, right? Los salsita, handle it. And for the most part, most guys did. You know, they wanted to clean up. They wanted to be back in good graces, be embraced, be back within the household. So that was fucking a given. But there were guys that went against the grain. They didn't want frontline status. They were spooked of it. You know, they talked all that high power shit about their this and their that and like that and that. But when it came down to it, beep, bitty, boop, 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 they weren't with that business whatsoever. They wanted backline status. Okay, there's no such fucking thing. You know, everybody's number will be drawn at one point in time, some a little bit more than others. And it starts to become repetitive, redundant, and you say, fuck this, right? But with that being said, that's part of life, and that's part of that gang life and part of prison, okay? So a lot of these guys will take the initiative to make it pop off just because. Yeah, wind's blowing, let's crack it off, right? They have their own reasons for it, and a lot of them are dedicated to their cause, their beliefs, and they're gonna fucking ride on that belief, period. But what's the belief of your country? What's the belief of the gente out here, your familias, your barrios? See, you always have a lot of vatos. You know, when you talk about gangs, man, I'm down for my barrio, homes. I'm down for my hood till the motherfucking wheels fall off, bro. It's my barrio and nothing else. Well, guess what, homes? Your barrio is inside the United States of America, homes. So if you're going to defend that barrio, it's time to defend everything. You know, because there could be a time and a place, man, where we have to show face. We have to defend, right? So what will the administration do? From what I'm hearing from vatos that are actually incarcerated, you know, because word's circulating, they're talking to the placa like, hey, what's happening out there, right? Yeah, the homie said the wind's blowing, right? They're talking about, it's quite possible, man, you guys could be put on frontline status. And a lot of them are fucking jumping up and down for joy because, hey, that time cut, they want to get out there and murk a couple motherfuckers if they have to and get away with this. Sasuke, dream come true. Orale, Iceman, Klukinski shit, right? They can go out there and choke a motherfucker out and get away with it. Orale, right? In that fashion. But is that really possible? Now, let's look at it from the outside, looking in on a real, given retrospect and looking at everything from every angle. Do you think that's really going to happen? Charlie, first of all, I don't think we're going to get to that point, man. I think the United States is more secure and more up to par on what they're doing. I can't speak for certain administrations and things of that nature, but I will say that America's the top dog in this motherfucking shit. And we ain't from Fresno, not all of us, right? So it's all good. So I don't think it's going to get to that point. But perhaps in what if? There's always a what if in life. See, people live on facts and some people live on fiction. But there's always that what if. Well, what if your old lady never came to my house then? You know what I mean? See, then I would have never fucked her, right? And then me and you would have never, and then I'd have still been in good standings. What if, right? What if, motherfucker? What if your fucking jefita would have never had you? Well, what if my tío wouldn't have fucked her then? Well, what if she wouldn't have been home that day? Well, what if she wouldn't have been a piruja? You know what I mean? Bam. There's always a lot of different what ifs. But what ifs can turn to facts. It can be actual and factual. You know, not all what ifs in the world don't come true. Subsequently, they're like dreams. They always come true, or for the most part, you know, or they turn into a nightmare. Either way, there's going to be repercussion for some type of action. So just think about what happened, man, if these guys got put on frontline status. Would they be properly trained enough? Would they be physically fit enough to defend our nation? You know, would they have to go through some type of crash course, some type of fucking whatever it is, boop, 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 to get ready? So that they could stay ready? I don't know. It's something that we've never had happen. You know, look at the Ukraine situation, man. If you're a fucking vato from 16 years old to 60, you ain't going nowhere, Holmes. You will defend the soil for which you toil, man. 10 toes down, and you know what I mean? Heavy as the head that wears the crown. That's what you're going to do. Period. You're not getting that option. The borders are borderline. Looks like you're trying to cross that. You're not going to cross that line, Madonna, right? It's never going to fucking happen. You're going to defend. Whether you like it or not. It's just the way it is. Same thing goes in the northern cause. You're going to defend the household whether you like it or not. And Sureños as well. Oh my, I'm not going to speak on their plight, but I'm sure they're feeling the same way, man. You will defend the casa, the household, the yarda. It is what it is. I put the element of prison into my stories because that's all I know for the most part. That's what I've done for several years of my life. And it all correlates, right? And at the end of the day, man, if you look at it, you know what I mean? It's like Bruce Lee shit, you got to look at it for what it is, man. A lot of it makes sense. It makes fucking sense, right? So trip out. Just say that something did pop off, man, and we got attacked on our soil. Of course, now it's time for all men to take arms and handle their business. I know first and foremost, man, I'm going to handle mine. I need to protect my family. My town, my city, my barrio. Yes, my barrio. Even though I'm not, Sasuke, you can't even come back to your barrio. It don't matter. I'm a protective, vato. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Bang, bang. And in that fashion, because I'm protecting the whole land from which we come from which our freedoms are expressed, from which our liberties are adhered to, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. McDonald's style, you know what I mean? McMuffin shit. It's all good. Okay? I know where I stand and where my mentality, my mindset's at. Where's yours at? Bang, bang. You know what I mean? Don't go try to hide in Montana, vato. It's already going to be filled up. Believe me. The wind's blowing that way. But what are the prisoners going to do? You know? Are they going to be thrown out there like ragdolls on frontline status, man, to protect us? Or are they going to actually be respected like they should be as soldados, man, just like the rest of us? Yeah, they fucked up, but I fucked up once upon a time too. I done make some wrong mistakes and choices in my life, man, from which I did the crime, so I did the time, and now I'm back out here and making amends to my community and the society by doing what I'm doing, right? But at the end of the day, man, that doesn't make me any much better than these other guys, even if they're doing vida, man. They might have just fucked up. Now, there are some vatos, don't get it twisted, that deserve to get the key thrown away. But this says get thrown away. If you've touched children or if you've done anything weird like that, Sasuke, why are you... We should declare war on them, right? It should already been declared. That's what should have been happening. But of course, man, I don't call the shots. I'm not the shot caller, man. I'm not even in that circle. So I couldn't say, you know, voice my opinion one way or the other. Thank God I got a platform on YouTube where I could at least express my emotions. Lost in emotion. You know what I'm saying, though. Anyways, trip out. This is the word. You know, I talked to the homeboy just yesterday and he was like, yeah, bro. I said, so trip out. What would you do? He said, motherfucker, I'm ready. I'm ready like the homeboy Fast Eddie. You ready to do this, man? I'm ready to cut a motherfucker. I said, but it ain't going to be shanks and fuck. It's going to be hand grenades and motherfucking AKs, right? He said, shit, I'm ready like that too. You know, we can make that happen. He said, I already got 4 bodies. What's another few? I said, so a few dozen? He said, Baker's dozen. It ain't happening, cousin, right? Whatever they want. We can take it to the stage. Fuck it, 2 tears in a bucket. Bang, bang. I said, all right, cool. I don't understand you, but at the same time, I'm kind of feeling your drift. I think we're right there parallel to each other, side by side. This is what he was talking about. He was down to make it happen. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel that same way. But there's also the word fear. When I throw the F up, I'm not throwing it up for Fresno. Fear, vato. There's a lot of vatos that fear the unknown. They could talk all that high power shit on the yarda stuff. I'm gonna fucking watch that tattooed on my face. That's gay, and I'm gonna fucking put it down on my old lady like this, like that, and like that. They could talk all that shit, but you put something in their hand, and they're like, I don't even know, man. I'm like, I don't know what Russian is, right? So it's Russian. You know what I mean? My motherfucking forehead's rushing to the back. Oh, that's all they talk about. They ain't ready, you know? And I'm not going to say I'm sitting here and I'm ready. Because really, I'm not. Really, I don't want that. Really, I just want to fucking take my kid to Disneyland. That's my dream. That's it. That's all I want. Okay? But in life, you have to make hard choices. And you have to make hard decisions. And this will be a decision that everybody will have to fucking fall victim to or lay it down for. You know what I mean? Whatever they say goes, man. And I just know that the word has been circulating in prison. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's going to happen. They're going to do this, because I don't know, man. Come on, man. You know, I'm just motherfucker on YouTube. I'm just a gun, man. This is the juice. I give you suits, Gucci handbags, and blue diamonds. You know, you feel me. I'm not nowhere in that inner circle, man. But I know that if push came to shove, man, and the United States needed the manpower, man, there's a lot of manpower incarcerated. You know, a lot of the vatos that are really with the businessmen and that are really soldados are fucking in there. Now, I'm not saying that just because you're out here doesn't mean you're not a soldado and you're not righteous and you're not about it, because there's a lot of real ass motherfuckers out here as well. But a lot of our MP, our manpower, our soldados are incarcerated. So why not give them a chance, man? Why not put something in their hand, put them on frontline status, and let them handle their business? And not even necessarily frontline status, but just status, period. Let them go in there and work parallel and side by side with other soldados out here, man, to defend our great country, man. Yeah, now I understand that some of them are feeling bitter, you know what I mean, feeling some type of way, man, because they're not getting justified, basically equal justice just like the rest of us. But of course, man, that's part of being incarcerated, man. Anyone that's ever been locked up, they need to understand if you fucking do some crime, you're going to do some time. And the time ain't going to be lovely. Okay, it ain't all crimson and clover. You know what I mean? It ain't all fucking Cadillacs or Land Rovers either. What it is a motherfucking pedazo, a yarda, removals, oh my, and some fucking mystery meat. That's just usually what it is. But at the end of the day, man, anyone that's been incarcerated knows what time it is, man. Rolls with the punches one time for their mentality. And at the end of the day, in a menudo style, in a direct fashion, they handle their business as grown men. But we're talking about war. If war comes, if war goes down, man, no one knows what's going to happen. You know, so I thought I'd throw it on your plate today and say, hey, shit, there's only some fucking, I got more questions than answers when it comes to this topic. But I think it's a topic we should all discuss. I think it's something that is relevant to what's going on right now. And I think it's something that we should watch. You know, because everyone's worried about their familias, first and foremost. That's right off the top. Likewise. But at the same time, I also got familia that's incarcerated. Primos, my carnal, right? Familia, tios. And I'm worried about them too. What's going to happen to them? Am I ever going to see them again? Some of these vatos got dates. Some don't, but some do. You know, and some of them are doing what they got to do to fucking take the necessary steps to get out because they want to be with their family. You know, so if something goes down, yes, I'm going to worry about those that are in front of me, man. I know I can't worry about everything, but I'm still worried. You feel me? Because I love my loved ones, no matter where they're at, what standings they're in or anything, man. At the end of the day, familia is familia. It's thicker than anything. It's like brown skin, man. Raza, we got to stick together, man, so we stay ready. We don't have to get ready. That's what it is, okay? So at the end of the day, I just wanted to speak on that and kind of shed some light on that. What's going to happen? You know, as far as what I'm hearing from the guys that are incarcerated that I talk to, because yes, I am privileged to talk to a few heads, you know what I mean? We're going to leave it like that. And they're ready to rock steady like the whispers in that motherfucker, right? They're like, give me a AK. What does that mean? I was like, they don't even use those anymore. This ain't fucking Boys in the Hood. Let's do it like Monster. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Vatos are ready to go off like O-Dog. They're ready to handle it. America's nightmare. Only they could be a Russian nightmare if shit gets bad. So at the end of the day, man, think about it. Think about your brothers, your sisters that are incarcerated, your familia, what they're going through, and what could possibly happen, and inquire into it. Because they're not to be slept on. They're not to be forgotten, man. Loved your loved ones that loved you when you were in prison, but how much did your loved ones love you when you was broken doing time in prison? Remember, like Mac Dre said, man, something like that, something similar to that, you know, but still have love. What he didn't say, man, what he meant to say is, man, the one who loves the most, man, is the one who goes further. You know, show love, show canalismo, show respect, you know, show direction, and you'll live longer. You'll make it happen. Your dreams can come true at the bang, bang. Anyways, with that being said, man, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, man, it's all about being a soldado for your familia and protecting first and foremost who's in front of you. Of course, man, those that are on the side of you will ride with you, hopefully. And at the end of the day, man, hopefully it works out for everybody, man. We're hoping that our great nation stands tall above it all. You know what it is, man, through thick and thin. We're always going to win because we're the motherfucking United States. Bang, bang. You know what it is, man. The gun's down with that business. Anyways, if you like this, man, please hit that like, that thumbs up. Hit that notification. It's a little bell right there. Watch your right screen. Hit that one. If not, you can hit that thumbs down. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to push because I push first and foremost for what I believe in. And for the gente like you, the raza, all brown people and all people, period. You know what it is. It's the gun one time for your mentality. Menudo style. Bang, bang. And in that fashion.